Well, hey guys, today I just thought while I have my chainsaws out, cleaning up the saws, re-lubricating and sharpening the chain up, I just thought I'd do a 2-year update video on the chainsaws. I still get a lot of questions about the chainsaw, the 16-inch in particular that I did a review video on a little over 2 years ago now. And I even get some questions about the 14-inch that I repaired the control board on with the MOSFET. Both are going very, very well. So instead of answering a lot of questions on a 2-year-old video, I just thought I'd at least take time to update how well the saws are doing for me personally. So at the time of purchase, the price of this saw was $299 with the 5 amp hour battery. So to me, it was a very, very good deal with the battery that it's usually over $200 by itself. Instead of $219 or so for the saw, for $299 you get both. So that's what I did at that time. I'm very aware that these 18 inches out now, and probably even a better saw, but I don't know for sure since I don't own one. And since I have the 14 and the 16, which I believe the 16 and 14 are exactly the same other than the bar. So I bought a 14-inch bar and chain for this one, but I could have made it a 16 as well. But a lot of times I put a 2.5 amp hour battery in this one and just take it for like a backup saw in case this one gets pinched, you know, we're in a bind. Or in the odd case that the battery might not last fully on this one, which I have actually not run into yet, but we'll get into that later. But today I was just using the Dremel tool with the 4.5 millimeter sharpening stone to go through and hit my tips and get them in good shape, ready to go for anything that might come this fall and winter. I'm just using my truck outlet, so I'm going to cut it off and I'll be right back. I'm done sharpening the blades up, so they should be ready to go. Full of oil, as you can see. The sight glass on these is not that great. If you learn to just lean them over, and then the oil will come back. So I just thought I'd take a few minutes on video to talk about how good the saws have done for me. And I have not had to use a gas chainsaw since I bought mine, and having two is just an extra blessing. You don't really need to get another saw out for anything, even if you get one in a bind or a pinch. But I had a large pine that wasn't even on our property. It was in like a power line right away. This large pine tree fell, and not only was it a property damage danger, because it's directly over a shed, as I'll show in a few pictures here. And as you can see in the pictures, it was also dangerous to our family and our pet, our little dog Harvey. So we definitely didn't want the tree to come down unexpectedly. After trying to get with other people about the tree and then we can go on that land and take it down, I ended up just getting my Ego chainsaw, and I said I'm gonna step it down and see if I can make it as easy as possible to rest against my shed without it just falling through it. So because I had so much going on and by myself, I didn't want nobody around. It was kind of a dangerous job. I just stopped and paused and took a few videos just to remember how it was and how it laid out. But also to share on an update video, maybe just some photos of stepping through progress of just how awesome the saw has done. Since I did that initial video of the saw, I mean, it performs well, and we see that in the video. I mean, in that big tree, did I bog it down a few times? I mean, yeah, I did. I've never used a gas chainsaw I didn't bog down either. They just don't have much torque. They got a lot more speed, but they don't have much torque. So here I think we have a lot more torque than even some gas chainsaws, of course, but we don't have the speed. I do believe the 18-inch is faster, and hopefully even the torque is greater as well. But nevertheless, this 16-inch is an awesome tool, and almost anything around my house is more than enough for. And I really love being able to, like after a storm the last couple of years, I got used to having it around, and I'll already have the bar and chain oil to be full, and I always keep a 5 amp hour battery ready to go. And usually I have it in it, and I just charge it up every so often to make sure it's fully charged. And in a time of emergency, I just know I can grab that chainsaw and go with a limb down, trees down. If it's been a storm and I'm going to work early that morning, well, most of the time I leave out before 5 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's dark, and you don't know how the roads are and how many people have been out on the road yet. And sometimes I'll grab one of these small saws and just have them ready and just put them even in the back. I don't have to worry about the back of the truck with gas and oil and all that stuff. I can just put it behind the seat as long as I keep it clean after use, and I put the blade guard on it. I just simply take this thing and set it behind my seat in the truck, you know, and that's just very, very handy to have, and to have that readily available and not much power. But as you can see in these pictures, I had to take this pretty large tree and work it up in 4 to 5 foot sections until I tried to get the angle right where it fell up against my shed and tried to rest against it rather than try to fall through it. It ended up getting hung up in an ash tree, which ended up being very, very beneficial and a blessing to me, because I was able to finally ride down the whole top half of the tree without that dead pine breaking out, which I was really, really concerned those dead pines would top out on you. So it ended up, I don't know how good a picture I had of that, but it got wrapped up in that ash tree, and then it bowed that ash tree. And that ash tree was probably 8 or 9 inches at the bottom, but I was able to cut that tree and just have it kind of very, very controlled, lay down on top of the shed with the top half of that pine. And I was able to get up there and section it off, and it just rolled off the sides, and it ended up being a blessing to have it down safely. Just really got to hand it to the Ego Saws. They've come through on several jobs on my property. So just wanted to share this update video. It's been great. I'm very, very happy with the purchase, and I probably will not be going back to gas chainsaws. Will I get an 18-inch eventually? Maybe. And I might even wait a few more years and maybe even see what else comes out, because I believe from this point on the battery stuff is only going to get better. Of course, they're on the line of being able to compete with gas, and that's a huge step forward. And I believe it's just going to go, hugely forward from here as it does surpass, the 20 to 30% efficiency of gasoline, even though gasoline is very hard to compete with as far as power and power density. Lithium-ion has got it to or at that level. The next platform, whether it be in solid state batteries or graphene, who knows in the next decade what that's going to bring, but it's only going to get that much better. So I hope you like this update video about the 16 as well as the 14-inch repair that a lot of people are asking, how's it still going? Is that repair working? When a MOSFET fails like that and you replace it, you don't know if something else was going on. It could have just been a bad MOSFET from the factory, because the chainsaw looked so new and didn't look like it was abused or anything. But both saws have been doing great since I purchased them or repaired this one. And just thought I'd do that update video today for you. Yeah, I used a 4.5 millimeter sharpening stone to usually keep them sharp, because I just do it quite often and just keep them ready to go. As another small update video tie-in, I thought maybe I could use the Nexus power inverter that I bought, the 150 watt, sharpening the stones with everything Ego, which I usually just plug it up to my truck anyway, so it wouldn't be a huge benefit to me. But actually, just so you know, the Nexus will not start up. This is an old Craftsman rotary tool, but it's pretty much the same as the Dremel, right? Just rebadged. But I also have a variable Dremel that I usually use for other things and hobby things, and this one I just keep my chainsaw. It's pretty much just my chainsaw sharpening tool. This is a lot older. That's about all I use it for. As a side note, the little Nexus Escape inverter actually would not run either one of them. A little bit of a disappointment there, but still not a big deal. So I thought I'd do this little insert in the video to show you what I was talking about. Even though this is a 1.15 rated tool, and this is supposed to be able to handle 1.25, it just does not handle the inrush of the little motor. This is my other Dremel I mentioned with the variable speed on it. Of course, it won't start either. This one is rated for 1.15 as well. So you would think it will be a way it would run it, right? And it is. It's a device here that I made a while back, and I've had the parts for it for a while. And it's basically just an NTC limiter. They're 15 amp NTCs, but I always put on here a 10 amp max. That's a 5R limiter, not grounded, because I just got a 2-prong plug on it. But if we simply plug this in with the NTCs in series, and that's all that's in this box, the NTCs. Not like we can't use it. So, not a miracle worker by no means, but it definitely does help with the inrush. And for just such an application, it actually works well. It won't help you with a high current load or anything like that. It does not like the speed control as much on this one. But it would run it to get by. And that's all this is. It's just, I got the cord coming in going to receptacle, but I have it going through series. In this case, I have 2 of the NTCs across there. And I can either put 2 in parallel across the one, or I got them both in there right now. So it's really going to be a 10R, really, since it's in series with the neutral and the hot. So if you're interested in that, leave a comment below, and I can actually do a video on it. We could talk about it a little more. So I hope you liked this video today, doing a little bit of an update on the 2 years of having the Ego chainsaws and how well they've held up. If you decide to get one, I wish you luck with yours. And if you have any comments, please put them down below. And if you like the video, please like, share, subscribe. And thanks for watching.